I'm getting ready to get started on my 7th day. Today is Wednesday, February 22nd, and I'm leaving. I don't know, I can't remember these shelter names. I'm right over here at it. Little Laurel Shelter. I'm going to try to make this a 14-mile day today, and so I'm getting a little bit of an early start at 7:30. I don't make real great mileage going up hills, and for about the next 2 miles it's about all uphill, so I'm sort of glad I'm getting that done early in the day. So I'm going to have some nice views today. It'll be the first real views I've had since I've been back on the trail these last 7 days, really. So I had a decent night at the shelter last night by myself, and wanted to share a quick little story with you and then go, because I'm not going to talk all day. Nodak, the guy that I was in the shelter with the night before last, I saw him. He stopped here at the shelter, and we visited for quite a while. He had somehow misplaced his spoon when he was flying out here from North Dakota, and I'll switch the phone around. He had misplaced his spoon, and so night before last was his first night out on the trail, and he discovered he didn't have a spoon. And Merlin loaned him his. I would have loaned him mine, but Merlin had already told him before I got to the shelter that he could borrow his, so that's how that went. But I figured he'd want to borrow mine tonight because Merlin has moved on, which I figured he would. I could tell he's a strong hiker. But when I first got to the shelter, because Nodak beat me to Little Laurel yesterday, when we got there, he held up a plastic spoon. He said, "Look what I got." And I said, "Where in the world did you get that?" Because we've not been to civilization. We've seen very few people. And he said, there was a road crossing back there, an asphalt road crossing. And he said, when I came to that road crossing, he said, I figured this would be my best chance to try to bum a spoon. And he said, I looked down the road, and there's a little cabin there. And he said, there was somebody standing outside. So he said, I really hated to do it. But he said, I walked up to him, and he said, the first thing they said is, "Are you a hiker?" And he said, yeah. He said, somehow or another I've lost my spoon. And the lady said, well, wait right here, I'll get you one. And I'll bring you a cookie too. And turns out that he told me this lady, he called her the cookie lady, and he said he'd heard about her. Didn't know exactly where she was. But he said she gave him a great big delicious cookie. And so I missed out on that. I'm going uphill now, so I'm going to turn this phone off, or camera. Interesting looking fire tower. I don't know how far off the trail it is. I may try to go to it, but if it's real far, I'm not doing it today with a 14-mile day. I bet this area is where Nodak camped last night. He moved on from where I was. This is a pretty area through here. I just heard a grouse thumping his wings. Time for a pack off water break. I've come about 2.5 miles since I left the camp this morning, or the shelter, and I'm feeling good. I've made the strategic decision to not carry as much water when I'm going uphill if I know that there's a water source on the other side, which this is the case here. So it saves me a lot of energy carrying water up the hill that I didn't need to when I can get it on the other side. I've been doing that for the last couple of days, but it's definitely, I think, helped. Well, that was about a 25-minute break. Got a little bite to eat, and got my water supply replenished. enough to get me to Jerry's Cabin Shelter, which is about 4.8 miles. And I will be able to, I'm planning on stopping there to fix me some lunch and take another pack off break. So, looks like a really nice day today. Oh my, what a view. This is beautiful. Whitlock Cliff. This is Black Stacks Cliffs, something like that. The ground at the top of this ridge is a lot more marshy than I would have expected. It's not really been raining that much. This is pretty cool. I'm walking along the state line. With my left foot, I'm in Tennessee, and my right foot, figuratively, I'm in North Carolina. That's pretty cool. Those shots I showed earlier, one cliff, the earlier cliff was looking into North Carolina, and the Black Stack Rock Cliff was looking towards Tennessee. Pretty cool. This is looking straight down for me. I've got to climb down this. This is Jerry Cabin Shelter, and it is time for me to have a little bit of pack off time and a break. It's about 12:30. I've been going solid since 7:30, and so the sign here says that I have come 7 miles. You know, I'm not making great time, but it's just, you saw the terrain. It was difficult terrain to make it across, and I'm going to try to make it to that Flint Mountain Shelter, and it says it's 6.4. I I'd like to get back on the trail by, say, it's 12:30 now. I'd like to get back on the trail at least by 1:30. Most hikers prepare their bigger meal that, if it has to be heated at all, has to be, they prepare those kind of meals at the end of their day. But I have just discovered that I'm just not going to be able to do that. When I try to eat too late, I just feel like it lays on my stomach, and I don't sleep good anyway, but it just makes me not sleep well. And I've just decided, and so I've had times where I just didn't eat, but I cannot not eat a big meal, a bigger meal. This isn't a big meal, but I have to get in the habit of eating. And so I've been stopping in the middle of the day when I can find a place, and this shelter is a perfect place to just sit and prepare my food and just take a little afternoon siesta for a little bit, then get back at it. So then when I get to where I'm going to spend the night, I don't have to cook anything. I'll just sort of eat a bar or something like that, and that'll do me. I have no idea what this place is called. It's very beautiful. I can imagine farmers 100 years ago driving their cattle up to a place like this to graze on free grazing land.